Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me and for watching this. So haven't done a cooking video in a while, and I felt like cooking something really delicious and something that I can start up and walk away and come back later on after I've done a bunch of other things and enjoy a really good meal. I'm excited about this one. Usually I wait for Sundays to cook a really awesome meal, but I'd like to do it today so that I can maybe share this with a guest tomorrow. So I'm going to make something, well, let me tell you what I'm making actually. I am going to make some lamb curry, but in a crock pot. There are various ways to make it, and I've made it in an Instapot. I've made it just over the stove top. This is the first time I'm going to try it in a crock pot. I thought I would do it that way. I was taught by a friend of mine. She absolutely loved my cooking, and we exchanged recipes often. We shared food often, and she was from India, and so she would teach me how to cook Indian food, and I would teach her how to cook Spanish food. And so I'm gonna do the way she taught me. There's so many recipes online, so many variations, and so I'm just gonna do what she taught me. So obviously we have the lamb. We've got some shallots, and we've got some fresh ginger. We've got some onions, oregano or oregano, whichever way you like to pronounce it, as long as it is, you know, the same thing. Who cares, right? You can use coconut milk, but I like to use Greek yogurt, and that we'll explain later. We've got your seasonings, which is salt and pepper. I'm a little upset with myself because normally I am so stocked up on my spices and I thought I had everything. So unfortunately I'm going to have to substitute something in hopes that it works. So I'm a little upset about that. But we have some paprika. Now I would have used regular paprika, but I couldn't find my regular paprika, so I'm going to try smoked paprika. Hopefully that doesn't alter it too much. And you're supposed to use like cayenne powder, but I couldn't find mine, so I'm going to use a little bit of just red chili pepper to give it some spice. I'm going to use broth instead of water to give it a little bit more flavor, and garlic. Yes, I cheated and got it already pre-peeled because, oh my gosh, that's so hard to get around. Alright, so this should be simple, and let's get started on that. So usually the first thing is I go ahead and put in the oil. I'm using one with avocado, sunflower, and grapeseed. Already put it in the crock pot. And so I like to start by putting the onions and shallots in first. So let those, the crock pot isn't the best place to brown it. So you can maybe brown it ahead of time in another pan if you want to. But I'm just going to leave it like this so that way it'll just get nice and soft while it's cooking. You know what? I don't have any tears yet. I'm almost done cutting the onions. So this is as close to authentic as we can get, and I'm excited because I haven't had it in a long time. And it's been pretty cold here in Colorado, so I thought, what a nice day to make comfort food. And of course, cut your stuff to the size of your liking. And I know that's weird, but some people like it bigger, some like them really tiny. Some will do it in slices. I don't know. Whatever makes you happy, because guess what? It's all going in the pot together. And so, you know, I think we'll be all right. You're not going to get your cooking card taken away from you for that. So I'm going to just go ahead and put these in the crock pot on the bottom to get that started up. And so trying to decide what to watch while I have this. There's so many shows out right now, and you know, movies, but I want to watch it while I'm sitting there eating this. Trying to decide. You know, I started rewatching Justified. You know what's weird is I fell in love with that show. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And I can't remember how long ago it was that I was watching it. And then I decided to kind of go back again, rewatch it, because there's a new Justified show, so I thought I would catch up with the old one to refresh my memory. And what's crazy is it's like watching it for the first time. I can't remember any of it. It's so crazy, but I knew that I loved it, and I know the characters, but for some reason I don't remember any of it. But Only Murders in the Building, of course, is a favorite. And the Orville, thank you very much. Please renew the Orville. Yeah, renew the Orville, guys. So that is on everybody's playlist, running all the time. And I went back to watch that again, and every time somebody comes to visit and I want to put on something while we're sitting there, I put on the Orville, starting with season 1, episode 1, and they fall in love with it. They end up staying longer because they end up wanting to see more. So they don't have Hulu or Disney Plus, they end up adding it. Because they want to continue to watch it. Anyway, okay, now my eyes are doing that cryy bit. Okay, so we've got the onions and the shallots in there, and I had been heating the crock pot for a little bit already. So they can start caramelizing it even a little bit. And ginger smells so good when it's freshly cut. Now the ginger I do like to cut in lots of little pieces to make sure it hits every corner of the food. Some people like ginger, some people don't, but I think, you know, what's weird is I never cooked with garlic and onions before, and now most of my meals contain garlic and onions because I realized the flavor that it gives it. I hate raw onions, but cooking with onions is awesome. Just that flavor, that caramelized flavor. This is that fancy cutting board I love so much. It's huge, man. I'm not a professional chef, so don't laugh at me. I'm not cutting, okay? It gets cut, that's all that matters. Whew, goodness. right. So I'm going to stick that in there. I'll put the ingredients on the bottom because, like, I never really use 1 cup this, 1 cup that. I should. I'm not saying I'm right. I just tend to maybe like a little more garlic flavor or a little more onion, so I don't like to limit myself. But yes, little babies. You having a sneeze? Bless you, mamas. I know, it's the peppers and stuff, huh? Yeah. Poor little muffins. Bless you, babies. Yes, I know. His little eyes are squinting. I'm lucky that he never gets on the counter. He usually knows better than that. Took a little bit of training, but it's always possible to train your cats not to get on the counter. And you can do it without a water squirt bottle. I actually am not a fan of the squirt bottle. I try to use other methods that kind of work on their own, so that I'm not associated with the punishment, if you know what I mean. For example, foil on the counter for a while until they learn. So if you put foil on the counter and they go to jump up on it, they can't stand that, they'll take off running. And so every time they think of that, if they think that's what's up there, so they kind of give up. I don't want to be the one at the end of that squirt bottle or anything that would associate me with something horrible. So that is usually the best way to train them. Alright, in goes the garlic. Now, when I was talking about my friend that taught me how to make this, I had used the term she loved my cooking. And it isn't because she doesn't anymore. It's that unfortunately she passed away. And so I'm kind of making this in her honor. Oh God, please don't cry, Maria. Good Lord. I'm making this in her honor. And so I didn't want to forget. I didn't want to forget her. I didn't want to forget what she taught me. So anyway, okay. That's enough. I'm going to chop these up while those are browning a little bit more. Woo! One thing I love about fresh ingredients is, well, naturally the flavor, but the aromas that come from it just are fun. They're fun, fun, fun. Keep your finger out of the way. Keep your finger out of the way. Always a good thing. You can grate the ginger if you want it really, really fine. I was going to, but oh well, I kind of like ginger. So I actually use ginger oil on my face. So I think my face sees more food than I do sometimes. Avocado oils, ginger, rosemary, you name it. Hey, I'm not going out without a fight. Alright? Okay, once that's been in there for a little bit, you can go ahead and start adding the other ingredients, like your salt and your pepper. And you can't see the Crockpot, but hey, you know what's going in there. A little more pepper. And of course, curry powder. Got this one from World Market. There's lots of places you can get your curry powder. World Market is one of the places I love to go and get the ingredients for cooking the foods from around the world, because you get the awesome things you won't find in a regular grocery store. So, woo, smell that curry powder. Wow, that smells so good. Let's try, praying to Jeebus that this smoked paprika will work, because I usually use it when cooking Spanish foods. Oops, I think I broke that. And in go the red chili flakes, which should have been oh god, what's that stuff called? Cayenne pepper. Alright, so once you got those in there, you can go ahead and just stir it up nicely so that it gets all mixed up together. And get it all rubbed in there. Okay, so I think what we'll do is go ahead and I'm going to drop the lamb in there. Sometimes I do like to, season your meat, and this. I would say, hey, you can use any meat you want, but you can't if you're making lamb curry. So there you go. And so sometimes I'll put it in there ahead of time to let the seasoning sit. But I've got the ingredients in the Crockpot seasoned pretty well. I think I'm just going to cut these up into a little bit smaller pieces, because these are pretty big. So we're going to make them a little smaller. Wow, my nose is running now because of the spices. I also like to cut it up to make it look like there's a lot more. Kidding. But it's true. A little bit more bites. One time I was sitting someplace having a bite to eat, and there was this person behind, two people behind me, these two ladies, and one of them was a little bit older than the other one, though they were both adults. And then I heard the elder one say to the other one, "Why do you take such big bites of your food?" And she says, "I don't know." She says, "You should try taking smaller bites and enjoy each bite through your meal." She says, "Your food's not going anywhere. Nobody's going to take it from you. So enjoy it." And so I would say the same thing. When I'm cooking, I take my time cooking. I think about it for a long time, and I prepare it, and you know, the whole process is very zen. And you know, eating is part of the same experience. To be able to eat something that you put together and that it's tasty is a really beautiful experience and something to be proud of. So naturally, I hate it when I make something that isn't great. I'm like, what the heck did I do there? That took a left turn quickie. And believe it or not, it's happened. Yeah, well, we learn from our mistakes, don't we? And boy, have I learned a lot. Nobody got hurt, you know, so big deal. But it's just kind of sad when you think you did great and then you taste it and you're like, oh my gosh. Alright, I'm going to finish cutting this up. I'll be right back. Alright, everybody, so I finished cutting it. I put it back in, put the lamb in the crock pot, and I mixed everything really, really well to mix in all of the spices and shallots and onions and all that good stuff in with the lamb as best you can. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. All right, so I'm going to then now add the lemon, the more wet ingredients to that, and we're actually almost done. So, oh my goodness. Oh. Come on, don't fight me now. Glorp. Oh gosh. Can you say klutz? Oh! Got a little squirty. Alright. So, fresh. Everything fresh. If you can. You will appreciate it more. I do enjoy doing videos of foods that are quick, but I also like to show foods that take a little bit of time, and by that I mean that they sit there for a while once you put everything together. That I don't mind. I don't mind sticking everything in and then walking away for a while. So you'll probably end up leaving it in the crock pot anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. So you want to start it as soon as you can, you know, to have it ready by dinner. Wow, this is a workout. Okay, I think I've got enough fresh squeezed lemon. There you go. Just gonna dip that in there. The lemon not only gives it flavor, but it also helps to actually tenderize that meat and break down all the fat, the tougher, what's it called, stuff from the meat, and so that way it'll be tender. So the reason I try to do it in a crock pot this time is because I want that nice falling off the fork type of curry, lamb curry. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put in the last few ingredients, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my broth. I'm hoping Okay. Scared me for a bit. This is brand new and I was wondering why it was open on the bottom. It's because it pre-cuts it when you open it. That was good to know. I was ready to run back to the store. So I just got some stock. And I think it's about a cup or half a cup. I'll put the ingredients down there with the actual measurements for you. And you can alter it as you wish. And then we're going to use our Greek yogurt. And again, you can use, I need a clean spoon. You can use coconut milk if you want to, but I like to use the Greek yogurt because it's a little bit thicker. This is going to give it a nice thick sauce. Not like real thick, you know, but thick sauce. So, and I like to use a little bit of it. So, again, I'm altering this in the consistency and flavor that I enjoy. So, I'm just gonna mix up this bad boy now and get it ready for closing the lid time. Oh goodness, looks good already. You don't want to overdo the liquids in a crock pot. I know that you would assume that you're going to just fill it to the rim with brim. For those of you my age, you probably remember that line. But you don't want to overdo it with liquid. It'll just not work out well. So as far as liquid goes, I try not to go over the ingredients or the said amount in the recipe. So now I have this to clean. Alright, so I cleaned everything up, washed my board, cleaned the counter, washed the dishes, and so now all that's left is to mix it up really, really well. And try not to touch the edge because it's hot. But just let that sit there for a while. So we're just gonna put the lid on it. Put a lid on it. And we're gonna come back after 6 to 8 hours and I will give you a look at the final part of it. Alright then. See ya later, guys. Okay, guys, it is pretty much done. This lighting is horrible because I keep my place dim. I like dim lights. I never use the lights that, you know, come with your place. And I put away all of my lighting that I was using. So, I had to use the light from my camera. Anyway, so here you go. Nice lamb curry. Gonna serve it with some basmati rice. Bon appetit, my friends. Be safe, be well, be happy, be blessed, and all that lovely stuff. So go out and be fabulous and choose happiness, people. Ciao now.